When I hear the word water, I think probably the most exciting, chemically complex, and very misunderstood resource on the planet. My interest in water is beyond just the technical aspects of what I do. Without water, civilization can't exist. There are no substitutes. We have to find a way to continue to use it well, to recycle it, to protect it, and to make it accessible. Sub-Saharan Africa is heading towards a serious crisis around water sustainability, but it does have a bunch of water in the form of the ocean. It's such a niche innovation area, especially because I think over the past couple of decades, the conversation around water is changing. And fundamentally, the focus for us is to develop technologies that are class-leading, that are implemented on the African continent, fit for purpose for African type of problems. Nafasi is a business with a very simple objective: to create solutions and partnerships and intervene within the water value chain to achieve the primary objective of keeping Sub-Saharan Africa's water resources sustainable. And the biggest challenge for us as a business is knowing where to start, right? Because the problem is so big. So we've chosen to start in extremely chemically polluted environments and the seawater desalination environment, and we're now moving into the wastewater reclamation space in the public sector.
Without water, we cannot live. So it is a critical resource, and it is also an enabler, for economic development in the country as well.
Johannesburg has a really interesting history. We call it the Gold Reef for a reason, but what that means is it's become an underground reservoir. The danger with it is that it's a reservoir that is not clean. There's also a very large amount of metals, and in some instances, radioactive components.
That is really the risk that we're trying to mitigate, is to prevent the water rising up to the point where it will start decanting, because then the impact to the environment will be huge.
Acid mine water has to be purified or treated before it can be discharged into the natural stream. Currently, the plant is treating 93 million liters of water per day. This is where we discharge the water treated from the plant. The water has been treated to an acceptable quality to be discharged. We constantly monitor the quality of the water that we discharge.
Growing up, I just thought water is from the rain. From the rain to the streams, and then you drink. After joining Nafasi Water, now I can see water as a serious resource. At the same time, it's very scarce. My role is corrective and preventive maintenance duties on equipment in order to minimize plant downtime.
We are finding ways to maximize the opportunity space for young women. Engineering is not always the easiest career for girls to stay in, because it requires lots of travel, you're away from home, you're working shifts. So it conflicts quite easily with the home responsibilities that young women tend to have.
Nafasi is a women-led organization where we have about 44% women.
We're coming up a lot more proactively with policies and ways of operating that make it more sustainable for girls to stay within the career. Having that dominance and that equity in the inclusion of women, for me, is just the right thing to do.
I'm one of the beneficiaries of the ESD program. ESD is an Enterprise Supplier Development program that's aimed mostly on SMMEs to support them to grow their businesses. It's not easy at all to get your foot into this industry as a black female. But with Nafasi, there's been a lot of support. I'm one of the oldest people in the organization, it's a young team.
These are our students, our chemical engineering graduates. So what's the objective of the whole test?
So we're testing to see what the concentrations of manganese are in our feed.
The aim is to try and retain them as much as possible. And as we know that as a country struggling with regards to the water infrastructure, water treatment, we need to ensure that there's always engineers who can work in the sector.
There's a whole magnitude of different skills, technology that all has to come together when you operate one of these plants. So Nafasi's done that exceptionally well, being able to pull together these different skill sets and make sure that the team hums as this like well-oiled machine.
We've been doing this for 13 years since we commissioned the Irango desalination plant. It requires lots of innovation, lots of engineering time.
So we've always focused on membrane technology, and membranes really help us to separate out all the stuff that we don't want in the water at the end of the day. And because you have to always be on the cutting edge of water technology, what we've been focusing on more recently now is finding value from what we're separating out. And there's some really good technology out there that enables you to access those minerals, that you can actually extract them and generate a different revenue stream.
Abundance of water, scarcity of water. And technology is the bridge between the two.